shirts are more old school, and this is a jacket shirt right here. And this is from a company, I can never pronounce their name. Well, it's called Danger Ranger Bear, and I think it's Prometheus. They're out of San Francisco. The owner of this company used to be involved and was partial owner with Triple Alt Design. And they make some interesting, I would say, it looks more like urban combat stuff, you know. The way it's a very sleek design. But Prometheus, they actually started their own thing now. And I saw this wool shirt when I was looking for a jack shirt, okay? Now, I used to wear the Army jack shirt, but getting one of those in my size is almost near impossible. I am a double XL or old school American XL. If I find something XL that'll fit me, because my shoulders and arms and chest. But these right here, this is a double XL. It's a Alaskan cut, not the Seattle cut. The Seattle cut's more metrosexual, I would say. This is more of a manly cut right here. Filson refers to their stuff like that also. Filson makes some really good wool shirts, jack shirts, this kind of stuff too. And I do have a Filson jacket in there. It's a wool jacket I use, the Macintosh. But this right here is a really good shirt, and I wear it like a base layer. I mean, I'll put a t-shirt on with this right here, like you see it right here, and then I'll wear this right here around the camp almost all year round. Summertime, a little bit warmer, but especially in the autumn, and in the wintertime, I'll wear around campus wool. I'm not so much worried about it. Now, this thing I've had for many years now. I want to say 5 or 6 years I've had it. Ordered online. I got it with a friend of mine. He got his, and the cut was he had ordered another color. It was a Seattle cut, and it was too slim. And this right here was the Alaskan cut, like I said, and it fits really, really well. Now I have when they came every couple of years, they come out with another one, and so I got the same in this design here. This is a little bit thicker wool though. It's a little bit thicker. At least it feels that way. This feels a little bit thinner. But I like the style and design. I wish they come up with a green one. I'd like to get myself not just all green, but a green cut plaid, just like this right here. I'd love to have that. I do have a few merino wool shirts with the 3/4 zip that are from New Zealand, but they have these huge collars. You feel like you're in 1970s. So here's a much better cut. This is, I think they call it their mountain shirt. And man, this is a great, fantastic shirt. The only problem is that I have worn a hole underneath the arm right here. So I need to get my sewing machine out. I need to repair that. But I love this shirt right here. It's been through everything. It's done everything. It's traveled. It's just a great shirt, okay? And it's 100% wool, I believe, or close to it. It's maybe an 80-10, an 80-20 or something, but I think it's 100% wool. Fantastic shirt. Highly recommend it. This is a great base layer, okay? With this right here, you can throw over any of the other stuff with it. I've worn this thing right here with just my Vental smock. I've worn it with the PCU 7. I've worn this shirt right here with just another wool jacket, my Macintosh over it, or with a babor or like a 10 cloth shirt jacket over it too. Really holds on well to the warmth, natural warmth of the body. I've never over-perspired, and it works fantastic. It's got the slotted buttons, the Canadian Army slotted buttons on it. Fantastic shirt. I mean, I can't have enough of these kind of shirts. I live in wool shirts, and I love them. This one right here, it's also one that I got from the same company, like I said, and I still like the red one better than this one right here. This is also red, but the red and gray one, it feels a little differently. So here, I think I just need to wear it more often, and it'll get that same feeling to it. But right here, it's just about worn it out. I need to do some repairs on it. But this is the last thing I want to talk to you about. Wool is such a great thing. I spoke to you about this with the Umfrot. I spoke to it's just, if you layer up with wool, it's going to work. And now, of course, it's not going to be nearly as light as the synthetic stuff you have that's out there, but it's going to work. It's always going to work. It's fire resistant to, matter of fact, Nomex and wool are very similar. The U.S. Army is looking at going back to wool uniforms, actually, around 15, 20 years ago. And in the end, they went with Nomex. Okay, but this wool band it's just fantastic stuff. Of course, it's going to be more expensive, but it's really good quality stuff, and it lasts for years and years and years. So definitely can recommend it, and especially for base layer stuff. You can throw this right here on. You can take your jacket off, wear this around camp. You can hike. I mean, I'll throw this right here on when I do hikes, that kind of stuff, and just wear this right here with the rucksack. When I get to where I'm going, I know this is going to dry very quickly, and I just throw something on over it when I'm static. So, and this works fantastic. So I definitely recommend it. So this is my take on just the tops. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about undergarments. Now, I'm not a long underwear wearing kind of guy. I have worn it before. What I wear now is because I've discovered the the light soft shell pants. Those are enough for me. I wore just my Under Armour boxer shorts, wool socks, my boots, and I wore my those over pants, just regular pants. They're from Helicon Tex. I wore those. They're the versatile stretch pants. They're not the light ones. They're the ones before that came out. And man, that's enough. Even though I'm static, I don't usually get cold in the legs, so that worked really well. Now, what the Swedish Army came up with, which was a system that you had a double zipper pair of shorts that went down to your knees. Okay, they had long wool socks that came above your knees, and then you could pull those up when you're static and put those shorts on, and then put your Gore-Tex pants on over them. And then this was a fleece liner, it was quite thick, and it had a jacket fleece liner with it also. And then they would throw over the bib and then their Gore-Tex jacket over this right here. And that works really well. It's really warm. It's quite bulky, but it's super warm. If you're going to be doing some skiing, that kind of stuff, that's a great idea. Have yourself a short type, shorts like that right there. You can pull your socks up, and when you're moving, when you're static, you pull your socks up, you put those pants on when you're in the lifts, kind of like that, or if you're static, run a fire or whatever around camp. But then once you start moving, you can pull your socks down, you can take those off, stick them in your rucksack, and you can get moving. And then until you get to wherever you're going and to reverse the situation. So what I tend to wear is just, like I said, regular boxers. For a long time, I didn't wear any kind of undergarments, but now I've gone back to it now for some years now, and I found what works really well for me. And as Under Armour boxer shorts, they evacuate the humidity very, very, very quickly. That gets away, so I'm never overheated down there. I don't feel uncomfortable. And then, of course, I wear good wool socks. Boots are very important also for wintertime. They're going to keep you in traction, and they're going to protect you from the cold and the outsole. Now, I've got a pair of Gore-Tex. They're the Hex Scout boots. They're not nearly warm enough for cold weather here. I do wear them, and I tend to wear them a lot. I like to hike in them, kind of stuff. They're very lightweight, very comfortable. But I need to get myself some better. And I could get myself some gaiters. I have some, and I could wear gaiters, and that would give me a bit more protection. But you do need a little bit more insulated boot. I remember at the Army we had the Rocky boots. There were 400 grams of insulation in them, and that was probably the warmest boot I ever put on my foot. I was so happy with those boots. Sadly, they took them away from us, but it wouldn't matter anyway because I continued growing, my feet did, so I would love to have a pair. That's not in black. I don't like wearing black. So that's the only thing that's holding me up now is that all the really good warm boots that I've found. Salomon has a really nice pair, but they are in black. They're in black, and I just don't like black boots after the Army. So, and now, of course, the Army's in coyotes kind of stuff, which for me, that's fine. I don't know why. Well, I guess I didn't wear them coyote boots for 10 years, so while I was serving. But yeah, just still need to get myself some good warm boots that'll help me statically. And once I've gotten that, I'll be good to go. But so far, things are fine. And but it's it's wintertime now, and it's cold, so you got to make sure you have the right kind of gear to do the stuff you're going to do. Sure, if you're going to go out just for the day, a quick hike and get back home, you could probably go a little bit lighter if you're moving the whole time, if you're in shape. But if you stop or you have to stop, I carried a poncho liner with me also in my backpack Saturday, just in case. And it wasn't so much for myself as it was for the person I was with. because she did not have anything really set up for what we were doing. Now, she had a really big coat, big sweater, but she was wearing regular pants, no long johns or anything, which was fine. But she had the wrong kind of boots. Her feet were warm, but she was sliding all over the place. So this is something else. You got to have the right kind of equipment for whatever you're going to do. So my suggestion is to layer up. Give you all these layers, 3 to 4 layers should be fine. We're talking about base layers, t-shirts, maybe a zip-up polypropylene, or you have a lot of these waffle shirts, this kind of stuff. Those are very good. Under Armour, I have a zip-up Under Armour also, which is, like I said, I want those layers there so they can evacuate the humidity away from my body. And then above that, I start with the warm layer, and I'll throw on like an insulated sweater or a wool shirt or a fleece type of jacket. And then from there, I'll throw on either a lightweight jacket on the outside out there to protect me from the wind, like a Ventil smock, or a light Gore-Tex jacket. And then if not, I'll throw on something heavy like the PCU or a down jacket or just like that when I'm more static. But anyway, you guys be ready. Stay warm out there. Anyway. Also, when it comes to watch caps, bring yourself a couple of them. You never know. One gets wet, damp, you lose about 30% of your body heat through your head. So you got to be aware of that also. And then you have your hands throw in there, and your feet, and your nose, and sinus like that. So another thing I encountered was because of the humidity and the freezing cold was that my beard was getting frozen up with lots of ice in my beard. So be aware of that. So. And it stayed that way until I got back and melted away in the car. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming to this video. It's a longer video, a lot going on here. I can't see how much time it is in it. It's going to be a long one, I'm sure. But I may have to put this in a couple of, block it up a little bit, cut it up in a couple of parts. But anyway, listen, I want to thank you all for coming to the channel. I ask you to please subscribe, share this channel with your friends and enemies, because they're not, everybody needs to pick up on this kind of stuff. Leave a comment down below and like, and please follow me. Please follow me. You know what? I'm getting such good comments down there, and trying to build up a list of questions. I try to answer all the questions. Anybody ask me, I reply to them and answer them. And I really appreciate those of you who are involved and stay involved and stay enthusiastic. And with the right kind of gear, it'll make your outings so much more pleasurable, so much more safer, and so much more fun. And that's what it's all about, getting out there and put the stuff in your car. Get yourself, some blankets, some poncho liner, get yourself some extra, some socks, some boots for the car. If there's winterizing your car is important. There's a video on winterizing your car. Get yourself a good coat in there, some extra, extra gear. It could be last year's gear, whatever, a couple years ago. All my stuff is a couple of years ago. I'm not so much on the latest stuff as I am on what works for me and what can work for you. You don't have to go out there and spend $1,000 on a jacket, okay? Go to the Armory Surplus store, get something a lot less expensive, get you some wool, get you some more old school stuff. It's much more comfortable, and it doesn't attack your wallet so much, especially in today's economy. So save yourself a lot of headache with that kind of stuff. And then if you do want to gently invest, but hold on that stuff. Don't throw it out. You never know when you want to have a setup in the car and have a rucksack in your car with this kind of gear sort of sitting in there that you can leave in there and not worry about. And then if you do need it, it's there. Quick story. I was driving home one night when I lived at the mountains when I was still married up in another part of Switzerland on the Jura. It was an icy, cold night, lots of snow, this kind of stuff. And the last curve before I came into my little village up on the mountain, there's a wall with an angle, and a lady had taken it too quickly in her little Suzuki Samurai, and it went up on and she turned over, rolled her vehicle, and it was a soft top too, completely sheared all that stuff off. So I arrived, I rolled up, I grabbed my headlamp, a flashlight, my first aid kit, and a couple of wool blankets, and I found out how she was doing. I secured her, did not allow her to move actually, and then I got her in a warm position inside the vehicle. There was no gas spewing, there was no fire, so she could stay there. And I just basically stayed with her until the ambulance arrived. And then once they arrived, you know, they gave me my stuff and I moved on mine very well. So I keep a couple of Swiss Army wool blankets in my car. Get you some U.S. Army ones or Italian or whatever blankets you get. Keep a couple of them in there. People can sit on them, you know, in the back seat, to protect the leather seats or whatever. And I keep them in there all year round. You never know. And then along with some other things in there. And so make sure you stay prepared. Anyway, thanks a lot. And I appreciate you guys coming to the channel. Look forward to hearing from you again soon. And you guys take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you very soon. Goodbye. This thing doesn't want to stop again. Has it stopped yet? Hasn't stopped yet. You know, I got this little thing right here that doesn't want to stop. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.